Welcome to the magazine that makes anything and everything possible, from keeping you on course with what's happening in government affairs to the general facts of life. And speaking about government affairs, there's a significant reshaping taking place within major sectors of our country, from mixing cement for the needs of physical development to molding a generation for a better tomorrow, and technology developments are following suit. Today is packed, and we wouldn't want you to miss out on that. I'm Theodore Henry, your capable facilitator, taking you through today's Jamaica Magazine. Let's get to it.
The Planning Institute of Jamaica advises the public that the Dialogue for Development series planned for March 12 in Mount Salem, Montego Bay is cancelled. Follow us on Facebook at Planning Institute of Jamaica and visit our website at www.pioj.gov.jm to stay updated on future activities. The Planning Institute of Jamaica, planning today, securing tomorrow.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, March 11. Starting April 1, the government will be cutting $18 billion in taxes. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark made the announcement during Tuesday's opening of the 2020-2021 budget debate in Parliament. Among the measures is a 1.5% reduction in general consumption tax (GCT), moving the figure from 16.5% to 15%.
Cut in the rate of GCT will leave big difference. Will leave more disposable income in the economy, which will boost economic activity, which should benefit all households and firms.
Other measures under the $18 billion tax cut include a 50% reduction of the asset tax paid by financial institutions, and micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises, MSMEs, that file taxes will benefit from a tax credit of $375,000.
By removing overall tax burden on MSMEs, we will also reduce incentive for informal operations. MSMEs are an integral part of Jamaica's economic activity, and this incentivizes formalization, and we capture their contribution to growth, Mr. Speaker.
The Finance Minister also announced other tax measures to stimulate economic growth. The cocoa, coffee, and coconut industries will benefit from a 50% reduction on aggregate fees charged by the Jamaica Agricultural Commodities Regulatory Authority, JACRA. The Trade Board is reducing fees charged for all non-motor vehicle-related activities by 50%. In the meantime, $2 billion in budgetary support has been released to mitigate and manage coronavirus or COVID-19 on the island. Jamaica recorded its first imported case on March 10. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark says the money is an advance from the 2020-2021 budget and will be reflected in the first supplementary estimates to be tabled at a later date.
It will include expenditure, Mr. Speaker, to procure adequate medical and other supplies, to procure essential medical equipment, to improve the capacity of our public health facilities across the island, to handle existing caseload in the context of COVID-19, and to prepare facilities for quarantine. And, Mr. Speaker, to provide basic services for persons who may need to be quarantined and the training of medical staff and for other goods and services.
Dr. Clark says $7 billion has also been set aside to ensure that the Ministry of Health and Wellness is adequately resourced should the virus become pervasive.
In this $7 billion COVID-19 contingency, Mr. Speaker, we are prepared to consider other health, social protection, security, economic, or other temporary cash flow relief expenditure that may be useful to contain the health and economic impact of the COVID virus, should conditions deteriorate that necessitates a broader response.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness is reassuring the public that government has been taking all the necessary precautions to contain the spread of the novel coronavirus, COVID-19, on the island. Mr. Holness issued the statement at the office of the Prime Minister Tuesday. He said schools had been asked to not send students to the pen relays, while government officials and ministers have been directed to postpone non-essential travel. At the political level, information will flow through an ad hoc bipartisan parliamentary committee and directly to the Leader of the Opposition. While expressing confidence in the island's medical professionals and the public health system, Mr. Holness asked for calm in dealing with the virus.
There is no need for panic, hysteria, fear-mongering, or spreading misinformation. This will only detract from the efforts of the government and redirect time and precious resources to correcting false information and resolving unnecessary disputes. I give you my assurance that the government will provide accurate and verified information in a timely manner on all pertinent matters relating to COVID-19.
Meanwhile, Jamaicans are being urged to stop the practice of panic buying in the wake of the island recording its first confirmed case of imported COVID-19. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says there's adequate supplies on supermarket shelves and prices should remain stable. He adds that the distributive trade has been ensuring that there's a constant supply of goods for consumers.
I know that you will be hearing the message that you should be forward planning and anticipating and ensuring that you are pre-positioning and having the necessary supplies in reach of the island, should in case the situation escalates to the point where we would need to have such provisions made.
Mr. Holness was speaking Monday at Progressive Grocers Banquet in celebration of its 20th anniversary. And the Prime Minister is assuring that the Ministry of Health and Wellness has adequate supplies to contain the spread of COVID-19. Prime Minister Andrew Holness issued the confirmation during Tuesday's sitting of the House of Representatives. He said the Health Ministry had enough testing kits, medicine, gloves, masks, gowns, and hazmat suits to last for a significant period.
I am confident that all the protocols that have been announced, protocols for restriction on travel, protocols for testing for temperatures, for cruise ships that are coming and at our airports, the quarantine protocols, the isolation protocols, all of those are being followed.
And finally, the National Water Commission, NWC, is urging citizens to use effective water conservation techniques while combating COVID-19. The NWC says it stands ready to partner with the requisite state agencies to ensure that the population, especially the vulnerable, have access to safe potable water. The NWC says while persons are encouraged to practice good hygiene, such as frequent hand washing, it is important that these habits are carried out without the wastage of water. The Commission is reminding customers not to leave taps running while washing hands and to utilize the reduce, recycle, reuse strategy. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Mommy,
Yes, Zoe?
can we read this book? It will only take 10 minutes.
Sure, sit down. Every spring, Madame Angel Wing arranges.
Do you have 10 minutes? Read with your child today. Reading with your children for just 10 minutes each day helps develop their language and listening skills, stimulates their imagination, and expands their understanding of the world. So, start reading with your child today.
So there's this famous large white Georgian structure seated in a parish marked by a rich, vibrant, and creative history. I'm talking about Kingston, specifically its downtown district. That building is so many good things for so many great personalities in Jamaican theatre, with a stage marked for some of the finest performances. It's the Ward Theatre, packed with so many memories from as far as the 1770s. But that structure needs some work. And with that recognition, here's what government is doing.
We basically wanted to show persons and agencies that have been supporting us in the Ward Theatre project, where we are, what we have done, and some which have given us funding. We wanted them to see, because they give funding to specific projects.
Life
have basically finished in terms of the contracting for the seating, where you are now, that is completed. With respect to the carpeting, we have also completed that. The carpeting, the carpet is here. The contractors are ready. They have started to do some of the preparation work. The ceiling, that is also in place. All the changing rooms have been completed, all the restrooms, just finishing touches. Nothing for us to worry about. Even the tin carvings, which are these tin carvings we are basically redoing. So where we are with the theatre is really where I am standing. This is where we are. We are at the stage. We are quite advanced in the preparation in terms of the design and the costing for it. As a matter of fact, we have already done an estimate. We have drawn from experts across the globe who have come here, given us their time and their expertise, and have coming up with designs for the stage area and costumes. This would include the lighting and the rigging system. I will tell you, the lighting will be a significant part of the theatre. You can put on a show just with the lighting.
Me is a gate man, key man, watchman, security expert. People have to respect me. Me no partial cater or curry favor. Them have to respect me.
Where we are now, we are seeing the end. We have to nurture and give full expression to the creative faculties of the residents of Kingston and St. Andrews. The theatre is symbolic of that.
This is a place that I performed at when I was like 5, 6, 7 years old. Win all gold medal and a Jamaica festival. I used to do quadrille. It's supposed to have the real look, you know. I can see the potential.
Share in the dream. Share in the vision that is attainable. And let us realize the dream. The next time we commit to you that the next time we stand here, the next time we gather here, that will be a special moment in the history of the city of Kingston.
Protect yourself from the flu virus. Visit your nearest health center or doctor to get the flu vaccine. Cover your mouth and nose when coughing and sneezing. Wash your hands regularly with soap and water or by using an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Avoid the spread of germs by not touching your eyes, mouth, or nose. And be sure to regularly disinfect surfaces and objects that are used often. Remember, your health is your responsibility.
So speaking of molding, here's one child with the drive, skills, and desire that our education sector is shaping to become just what she desires. Meet Regine Bennett, who sees her future in broadcast journalism.
Not very often we get a chance to meet junior broadcasters like yourself or a junior broadcaster like yourself. And so it gives me great pleasure and quite an honor to sit and talk with you today. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
My life in broadcasting actually started at Montego Primary School, where the former principal, Mrs. Candalee Crooksmith, identified that I had a passion in speaking. And in speaking, I mean, I was very talkative in class, and she wanted me to learn how to use my voice in a positive way. So that's where I found the Kids Hub Media Network, a non-profit organization where we seek to give kids, tweens, and teens an opportunity to share their voice. And I became a part of that organization, and my life in broadcasting just took full speed there from there.
So when you were given that opportunity, how did that make you feel?
I felt amazing because now learning how to use my voice in a positive way, I am better able to interact with others. I have better communication skills, and I just find myself being a better individual.
Do you believe that you found your passion?
Yes, I have found one of my passions.
One of the passions.
Of journalism. Yes. But I just love being on camera and having a mic and letting my voice be heard. And what I love about journalism is that it helps you to be a current and well-rounded individual.
Your opportunity which you were given to be a part of the President Obama visit to Jamaica, what are some of the other issues that you're able to deal with as a junior broadcaster?
I'll mainly focus on the confidence that the young boys and girls may have in themselves. Bullying, we recently spoke about bullying in schools and how that affects others, and just how to be the best you in all that you can do.
And how are you able to strike a balance between, obviously you're doing well academically here at St. Hugh's and being a junior broadcaster, how are you able to strike the balance between both?
I'm doing my best at the time management because it's not an easy concept to grasp for me, but I am still trying. And it's just a blessing, I guess, when some people ask me how do I manage this and multi-talents, and I just organize myself well and try to cover a lot in the time I'm given.
And so you live in a single parent household, but aren't mothers amazing to provide the nurture and the care and the love and the kind of motivation? But there's something else. What is that other little thing that keeps you motivated outside of your mother's encouraging words?
I would have to say, I would have to give it all to God, that He keeps me going, because many times you're gonna feel demotivated and that you can't go on, but then you just remember where you're coming from and where you are now, and you actually feel proud of yourself, not overconfident, yes, but in that essence to say you are thankful and that you can't wait to see where you are to go in the future. So I would have to give it all to God.
What is the one lesson that you've learned having been a junior broadcaster? And how has that one lesson, changed your life or impact your life in a particular way?
I have learned to accept failure, and it wasn't an easy process. Failure is not anything that anybody would be comfortable with, but it's something that goes hand in hand with success, and that's what I've learned over time being a junior broadcaster. It has just been helping me in my growth as a junior broadcaster, and just how to handle criticism, and to just, you don't take it negatively but turn it into a positive way in order to bloom you and to just allow you to become the individual that you should be.
What's the one message you would like young boys and young girls who are watching this program to walk away with?
To try. So that's what I would want them to walk away with. Never give up on your dreams and always aspire to be the best you that you can be, and to just aspire to achieve greatness and always put God first.
And so I want to take this opportunity to say thank you so much.
Yeah,
and it really was a pleasure talking with you and to you. And from one broadcaster to the next, I'd like to just encourage you to continue to do what you're doing with great passion. And if you want to become successful, more successful and great in the business, then that inner passion must always be like a candle burning, never out. The flame is constantly burning. That when you think about all the things that you want to accomplish, you feel so good inside, and you're filled with so much joy. When you have that kind of passion, there's longevity. So I wish you all the very best, and thank you so much for talking to us.
We hinted a little bit about some developments in technology, and of course, that takes financial support and a planned budget, which our government recognizes. Here's how it's being done for this financial year.
For the Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology to achieve its main tasks in the 2020-2021 fiscal year, it has been allotted over $6.4 billion. Additional funding of $696 million will be coming from the government and its multilateral and bilateral partners. These are outlined in the 2020-2021 estimates of expenditure. $629 million has been set aside for the Energy Management and Efficiency Program for 2020-2021. That money will be used to continue energy retrofitting work on the Falmouth, Mandeville, Kingston Public and Victoria Jubilee hospitals. It will also allow the ministry to begin energy retrofits at another 7 hospitals and conduct a lighting audit of 50 public buildings. Meanwhile, $67 million is earmarked to enhance the Energy Efficiency and Conservation Program. The work will include developing national guidelines for the disposal of hazardous waste and conducting an energy efficiency or conservation awareness survey. AC retrofits will also be completed at several Jamaica Constabulary Force locations. The projects are being funded by the European Union, the Inter-American Development Bank, the Japan International Cooperation Agency, and the Government of Jamaica.
Interventions such as these are directly in line with the Government of Jamaica's strategy for delivering sustainable economic growth, which is underpinned by the drive to secure affordable and reliable energy supplies for our country.
Research and development is top priority for the Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology. $785 million has been earmarked to increase awareness and investments in this area. Several organizations will be benefiting from this, including the Scientific Research Council, the International Center for Environment and Nuclear Science, and the National Commission on Science and Technology. $3.1 billion will be utilized to increase access and use of information and communications technology in all sectors of the economy and to modernize the government's ICT governance framework. Of that total, eGov Jamaica will spend $1.8 billion to reduce the government's ICT cost, implement GovNet projects, promote efficiency and effectiveness in government, and facilitate a more responsive public sector. Energy management and implementation will be further supported with a budget of $409 million. With this budget, the Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology will be able to continue the vision of creating a sustainable environment that ensures energy security and innovation through science and technology.
Jamaica has a range of immense art forms created by citizens equipped with resourcefulness, skills, wit, and an undeniable creativity. Here are some of the ways you can explore some popular art forms in our country. After all, it's these things that mold an authentic Jamaican experience. Number 1, our craft markets. Pass through places like Kingston, Ocharias, or Montego Bay, and you may instantly realize some little wooden shops with an authentic Jamaican feel, stacked with a range of straw and wooden souvenirs, t-shirts, dolls, and other things. These are the works of our people. Number 2, Old Story Time at the National Museum. This is a yearly event that seeks to promote and preserve Jamaican folklore among our children. Number 3, National Museum itself. This space is filled with paintings and designs from many locals, riddled with artistic qualities and generations of stories to tell. And number 4, street paintings. There are places like Fleet Street displaying paintings from some very creative hands. And more recently, government launched the Live Good initiative. This is where local artists create peace murals across the country. This is used as an anti-violence campaign in a bid to encourage Jamaicans to adopt a culture of respect while resolving conflicts amicably. So while you're looking at other developments in our country, take a minute to stop and feature the arts and just how some of these people are working to make our country the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business.
Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it.
No dash no paper, no dash no plastic. Dispose your garbage responsibly. No know how to recycle, learn it quick. And if you drop it, better pick up every piece of it. Plastics last forever, don't forget the bits. Cause when them touch the street, them end up in the sea. Collect pan the reef where they fish them feed. And when you want seafood, I eat your
Keep
eat.
we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. No dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica.
Here's where we're pulling the curtains to a close. Another magazine's story has ended, but tomorrow promises more. But in the meantime, how about going on to our YouTube channel and visit the JIS website, which is at www.jis.gov.jm. Also visit our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages. And on behalf of the entire production team here at the JIS, I'm Theodore Henry, and thanks for watching. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.